Good morning, farmers. It's a Friday morning. I have taken the day off work because today is tractor delivery day. As we speak, our brand new John Deere 2 Series compact tractor is getting loaded on the truck, and it should be here within the hour. Brandon and Lisa are both coming up for the day just to help out, maybe get some free tractor rides. So it's kind of an exciting day. We were not originally going to buy a tractor this early. Yeah, it's definitely going to be helpful. There's a lot of projects that we've got going on, brush hogging, moving some dirt, grading land out, grading the soil out, things like that. But I figured I'd hire those out for the next 2 or 3 years. However, with the tariffs, with what could or couldn't happen to interest rates, with what almost certainly is going to happen with prices on cars, trucks, tractors, things like that, machinery, we just decided now was the time. So we went ahead and pulled the trigger. I had been looking for a while, so I had a pretty good idea of what we could probably use the best. With us having 13 acres out here, probably a 3 Series or a 4 Series tractor would do a lot of things faster, but I'm not necessarily interested in speed. What I found out about farm equipment is the whole thing is about how fast you can get stuff done. You need a 72-inch brush hog instead of a 50-inch because you can get your mowing done faster, and you need, bigger, heavier so you can move rocks faster, and all these kinds of things. I'm not really that interested in it. If it takes me 4 hours to brush hog this instead of 3.5, I'm okay with that. Difference being the price of the tractors, the price of the implements increase substantially the further you go up the line. A lot of people may be wondering why John Deere. I looked at all the brands, Kubota, Coyote, looked at quite a few brands. Just decided, based on resale value more than almost anything else, that John Deere was the way to go. Every tractor's got it's like the auto industry. There's no one perfect tractor, and everybody's got a feature that's different here, different there. I just decided John Deere was the route I wanted to go. I like those machines, and I think the resale value is very, very strong on those. So that's the route we've gone. So we picked a 2 Series tractor. We bought a rotary cutter, which is a brush hog basically. So I'll be able to clear this pasture, clear that pasture, clear all the pastures. I think the first thing I'll do, with Brandon's permission, is I may test it out, learn how to do it on his property. So we got a rotary cutter, we got a front loader that can lift about 1,000 pounds, so we can load that up with rocks and stone and dirt and firewood and brush, all those kinds of things, and move materials around. And then we got what's called a box blade, which most people use for smoothing out gravel driveways. My plan is to use it to kind of smooth out the land, places where, well, here's a good example. Where the trailer was parked during the barn construction over here, there's now a divot. The ground's been kind of worn away there, so I can use the loader, load up the front with some dirt, bring it over here, drop it down, and then use the box grader to kind of smooth it out, plant some grass seed, and we'll have a nice level area there. So the box blade will be helpful in just kind of smoothing some things out. That may be about it. Again, the tractor should be here within the hour. So we'll do some footage as we get trained on that. Unfortunately, the weather's going to not be very good for the next couple of days, so I doubt I'm going to get out and actually use it much this weekend. It's pretty wet out here right now. A little cool, pretty wet, so I doubt I don't want to take a brand new tractor and cut wet grass with it and things like that. So we'll take you along for the ride today. this is the rotary cutter. It's substantially longer than I thought, but this is the anti-scalp wheel, so this keeps the back from dipping down too hard and tearing up the ground. This is the PTO. This is basically comes off the transmission and spins around, and that spinning motion gets converted here into a round spinning motion. So we are going to learn how to take this off. This is a protective shield here over the PTO. So we lift that up. This is a coupler. So you pull that back and the PTO slides right off. So that's step one. Step two is to unhook these. See, it already fell off.
Yep.
So
all you have to do is pull forward. 2,
3. No, I need to go down just a little bit more, but these basically lock that whole thing in. So I'm going to lower this down a little bit and then pull forward.
With the property owner of this property, Mr. Brandon Lohman.
I hope I'm getting royalty checks for...
He's trespassing.
Trespassing.
The neighbor. Your neighbors are kind of shady.
Yeah.
They trespass on your property.
It goes pretty fast.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so unfortunately I didn't really get to run the tractor much today. I played around in the field a little bit, but it's really, it's drizzling now and there's more heavier rain coming in, so perhaps another day. What I did do was start to get myself familiar with the operations. You know, obviously running it around the field a couple of times helped with that, but I'm going to read the manuals tonight. Unfortunately, Lisa and Brandon left and my cell phone was in the car, so I am without entertainment, music, that kind of stuff for tonight, so I'll have to read. Anyway, I'll start to get more familiar with that, but what I was really happy about was I was able to get everything into the garage. So did a little finagling, but I've got the rotary cutter, I've got the box grader, I've got my trusty Husqvarna, and then the John Deere tractor, and there's still room for a vehicle over here. So pretty happy about that everything is able to get just neatly tucked away in here. Hopefully next weekend it'll be nice and we can do some stuff with this baby. All right, thank you so much. Take care.